let's first talk about past optimal lineups and GPP winning lineups. So I'm going to start in, what was it, 2018. In 2018, our optimal lineup used all $50,000 of the salary. Started with a 10K golfer, dropped down to a 9, and then the rest of them were 7K golfers. So that's an interesting way to build a lineup, and it still follows kind of my rule of roster construction. Start with the 10-9-8, 7-7-6, and make some substitutions. Well, if we start with a 10-9, sub one of the 8s down to a 7, and then a 6 up to a 7, there you go. 10-9, 7-7-7-7. Going to 2019, we left a lot of money on the table for the optimal lineup. $2,700 to be exact. So I think that's unrealistic. You shouldn't follow that. Don't do that. That opens you up to so many more lineups, and more likely you're going to try to get too cute with it. It's not the right way to go. I created a more realistic lineup here that I'll talk about here shortly, but your optimal lineup left $2,700 on the table, but it still started with the 10K golfer. So keep that in mind. What we don't see is a 9K, but we do have two 8K. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. We have a 7, drops down to an 8K. I got all confused with the green here. I have to double check what is going on with all of my... I have way more little black tick marks here. I don't get it. 100 points. Okay, so I actually have them marked. See, I did things a little bit differently in 2018. So these are our 6 golfers right here. Okay, good. Sorry, guys. I was confused there. So we had a 10K golfer, an 8K golfer, 3 7K golfers, and then another 6K or 1 6K golfer. So we just completely drop a 9K golfer. Basically what happens is we start with the 10, 9, 8, 7, 7, 6, but we actually drop one of the 9s down to a 7. And that's how we leave a bunch of money on the table. A more realistic lineup was to drop that 6K and actually add the $8,900 golfer, which means you would start with a 10, 8, 8, 7, 7, 7. And it was a low 7 on the button. So you can almost say that could be a 6K golfer. And in fact, you could make that change too, where you could went here and then to Davis Love, which was $6,300. That would use up $49,200 of the salary as opposed to $49,900. But again, what I'm trying to get at is you kind of want to have a 7 or a 10K golfer, and it's looking like another 7K golfer in your lineup. In 2020, our optimal also left a bunch of money on the table, $2,200. I don't think that's realistic or reasonable. So we start out with an 11K golfer, 8K, 7, 7, 6, 6. So again, that's how you leave a lot of money on the table. We drop another 9K, but we don't drop one from a 9 to another 7. We drop one from a 9 to a 6K because we have 2 6K golfers in there. We have our 2 7s. We have our 8, our 10. Now we have 2 6s. So we drop from a 9 to a 6. That's how you leave $2,200 on the table. So unrealistic. I don't think that's a way to go, but a more realistic lineup still would have started with a 10K, but we would have had 2 8K golfers involved, 2 7Ks, and a 6K. So we're really dropping a 9 down to an 8K, another 8K. And that left $300 on the table, scored 601 points. Your GPP winning lineup that year scored 549 points, and it used up all $50,000 of the salary. So take that for what it's worth. There was a lot of room that you could have, caught up, made a lot of money, maybe even won a GPP. And what did that one start out with? Seems pretty balanced. 9, 8, 8, 8, 6, 7. So this is a Chad Eckert special. This is peppering the 8K range. That did win a GPP in 2020, but if you went kind of the 10, 9, 8, 7, 7, 6 route, sub a 9 down to another 8, you had a good lineup there. Going into 2021, again, we left a lot of money on the table for the optimal lineup. It seems to be a theme here. I, again, am telling you, don't chase it. Don't chase leaving a lot of money on the table. It's not wise. Don't do it. But that optimal still use a 10K golfer, and we have a 7, 7, 7, 7, 7. So one 10K golfer and 5 7K golfers. Obviously not super realistic. We can make one substitution going from a Mark Leishman to another 10K golfer, and now we use up 49,600 of the salary. This is a bit more realistic, but it is interesting. 2 10K golfers and 4 7K golfers. So another interesting way to build lineups. Our more realistic lineup scored 752 points. The drive the green winning lineup scored 705. So there was a 50 point difference between those lineups. So again, there was room to take down the drive the green winning lineup. And to go over that one, that used a 7K golfer, make that 2 7Ks, 11K in Webb Simpson. Hold on, let's back up. So we have a 10, 10, 7, 7, 7, 6. Oh, wait. I added one extra. Where are we going? There we go. Sorry. An 11K golfer in Webb Simpson, 10K golfer in Colin Morikawa, 7 in Kirk, 7 in Na, 6-9 in Malnati, and a 6-9 in Michael Thompson. So that's a weird lineup, but that actually did start with 2 10K golfers. So keep that in mind. And then last year, 2022, your optimal lineup left $900 on the table. Again, started with the 10K golfer. We have 2 8Ks, a 6, 7, 7. So we have a 10, 8, 8, 7, 7, 6. That's how we leave $900 on the table, because we're skipping another 9K range, which seems to also be kind of a trend here. Skip the 9K range, but I don't think that's what you want to do this year, because the 8K range, in my opinion, not super great. Obviously, leaving $900 on the table is kind of difficult to do, so I created a secondary lineup, which left $200 on the table. And basically, this is your Chad Eckert special once again. We've got a 10K, 3 8Ks, and then 2 6Ks. So peppering the 8K range for Chad, probably going to be beneficial this week. That secondary lineup scored 743 points. The GPP winning lineup scored 710 points. So the gap was closing. It is closing between the winning lineup and what is more reasonable and easier to obtain. Again, GPP did not leave any money on the table. So when you're building your lineups, as I've been going through these secondary lineups, the more realistic lineups versus the GPP winning lineup, you don't see a lot of money left on the table. And you could still win a GPP with either of those lineups that I went through each year. So keep that in mind. Those are your past optimal lineups as well as past GPP winning lineups.